From our Pop 40 segment, stay tuned for a guitar tutorial on Calum Scott's Biblical. And we shall be right back. Good day. Good day, everyone. Mike Violette here from String Sound Studios, and we will be learning Biblical tonight. I'm glad you tune in again, and the goal of my live streams is to be educational, entertaining, and exploratory on a variety of topics and subjects. Please subscribe, especially to our YouTube. We are here on multiple platforms: YouTube, Vimeo, Facebook, Twitch. I got my Twitter going again, other obscure ones, but check those out as well. Daily Motion, DLive, okay? So remember to please subscribe. Anyone hear me out there, okay? You have a chat box, or we have a chat box. Which way is it? It's this way. We have a chat box. You could ask questions or just say, hi Mike, how you doing? And I talked before, well, I didn't talk before, I'm not sure, about live streams. We will concentrate on 6 or more concepts, which will enable you to play Biblical, okay? And we're going to get right into those. So we're talking slash chords with inversions, bass lines, voice leading, all kinds of things. And I'm going to zoom in, as usual, and show you how to do that. It's a great tune. I love this. If I was getting married, I'm already married. But I think this would be a great wedding song, and I'm sure people are using it right now as well. So lots to do in here. I have to say I've yet to see someone play this correctly. 1, I'm not going to use a capo. 2, I talked about a little bit about voice leading and all these different things. There's kind of like, if you want to say, lack of a better, well, I guess this is fine, more, jazz type voicings and things. So you have to be able to play this by yourself, and you have to be able to play with a piano player. The piano is very dominant. There's actually no guitar in it at all. And that's one of the reasons why I took up playing this. It kind of show you how to play with a piano player, right? So we're going to talk about that. When you're playing with a piano player, you want to play this very soft and just big chords, okay, and let them ring, and you got these bass line things going on. So let's get started. I'm going to zoom in. There's a lot to talk about in this song, okay? So here we go. Hopefully everyone can hear me out there, and I shall zoom in, and you can watch my left hand as usual, and I will play up the neck, or down the neck actually, so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, let's zoom over. All right, nice and big here. Now, one of the things I talked about are slash chords with inversions and bass lines. And slash chords basically are inversions. So I'm using more contemporary jazz, commercial music, slash chords or inversions. Meaning, let's say you play a B with a D sharp in the bass. So let's just say, for simplifying it, it's a chord that has a bass note other than the root in the lower part. Okay? Hey Kelly, how's it going? All right? Good. I'm glad it sounds good and looks good from here. So we're going to talk about those things, and the other thing are open voicing chords. So and sus chords and all kinds of things. But first, we're going to talk about slash chords, inversions, and bass lines. The second category is more voice leading with, let's say, open voice chords. So just in this introduction, you have those two categories, right? And the two categories I kind of combine. But let's get going. Now, I'm going to do a C sharp minor chord. I'm not going to do a minor 7 chord. I'm not going to use standard bar chord. What we're trying to do is play like a piano player. All right? So let's take a look at this. I'm going to play C sharp minor like this. My fourth, and this is really important for playing something like this. Okay? Open voicing chords. All right? This is not a slash chord. It has the root and the bass. Although if I play an open E, it would. But when you do things like this, you want to anchor your fourth finger here. There's only 2 chords in a row with that. Then there's an E chord. Then I'm going to come back to that. All right? But I play a lot like this for a lot of reasons. Okay? When you're doing chords like this, especially with a piano player, you're playing less notes. So it allows the piano player, if you're soloing, so you don't run into them. Okay? And it allows you to move around and flip chords around a lot easier. So watch this here, my C sharp minor 7 chord, okay? I'm just going to play this, okay? I double the beat or I can capo. Well, my goal is to just get this. Those 3 strings. Now, starts off nice like this. Then I'm going to go to my B with the D sharp and the bass. Now, yeah, I play a lot of big chords in here, but rather than play a big chord, I'm just going to do these little guide tones here. Because here's my D sharp and here's my B. So I'm going to omit the 5th, which is an F sharp, okay? And, you know, if I do this, I get rid of the D sharp. And the 3rd of the chord is strong. But if you take a look, I'm just going to the next chord by going like this. Very pianistic. So let's just take a look at that. Okay? Then I'm going to go to an E chord. Big E, but very voice-led. So let's take a look at, this is the intro. 3, 4, right? I want this. Big E. Now what do I do after that E? Well, I go to an E with the G sharp in the bass, okay? Or a first inversion E chord, if you're watching this in your classical, okay? So I have my 3rd of the chord in the bass. There's my E chord, but I'm going to play the next E chord like this. Note, I came right back to this, my 4th finger here, dragging it, right? So I start off on the C sharp minor. Notice the relation. If I just go like that, I got an E chord with a G sharp in the bass. You know, chords are ambiguous. They're kind of very interchangeable. But I think you can see that, right? C sharp minor, B with a D sharp in the bass. Okay? And then a big E chord here. Then E with a G sharp in the bass. Now check this out. The next chord is an E add 2. And what they mean by add 2 is they want a B in it. I'm going to play an E chord, an A chord rather, and I want to grab that open A. I'm going to play the E here, okay? However, I don't need my A again. You know, I'm not doing the traditional A chord or the block triad A chord, okay? I need that add 2, so my B is here again, okay? And when I play that A chord, this is going to be open. Then I have this. Then I have my add 2. Then I have my C sharp here. So I need to get this capo here. You want that sound. Hear that? But I'm getting this note and this note with my capo. And we're going to call that A add 2. And 2 is the 2nd degree. Could be referred to as a 9th, except it's not really voiced above the 7th. So we'll keep it as a 2. All right? You know, add 2 or sus 2, it's called as well. there's really no standard way sometimes to write chord charts. But yeah, it's an E add 2 and add sus, or sus 2 suspended second. Okay? So you can look at it like that too. It all depends on register. All right, now let's just take a look at that intro. All right, I'll strum it from here first. One more time. Maybe you want to get that open E in there too. You really got to flex this. All right, there's one thing I want to talk about. You go to the E with the G sharp in the bass, okay? If you're strumming it, which is fine, you're playing finger style. You really don't need to omit this note or mute this note because you're playing finger style, right? But if you're strumming it, we want to kind of, here, I want to bend this down a little bit. See that? Hear that? I'm muting that. So when I play this, yes, we want to play up like this, but sometimes we want this. So I mute that. Hear that? All right, one more time on that intro. There's a lot going on that intro. Introduction, rather. My chords are C sharp minor, B with a D sharp on the bass. I'm going to a big E chord. First position E chord. And I'm going to E with the G sharp in the bass, and then my A. All right, so notice I come from this, I leave my fourth finger there, and I play my A sus 2 or A add 2. Well, that's just a nice little intro. It's very pianistic, and this is, called voice leading. So instead of jumping around, you see people, they want to jump around here, then they want to jump up to the B with the D sharp in the bass, and back to an E, and okay? So just keep it. Voice leading is super important when you're playing an instrument. And by voice leading, I mean the voices. Each note in the chord is leading to the simplest. Let's just say the simplest way going to the next chord. Right? All right. And I don't want to get into the whole harmonic rules of voice leading and Bach and all that. However, just keep it simple like that. We're trying to get to the next chord with the least amount of movement as possible, right? And different types of motions, okay? There's all these rules. But rules are broken and they sound fine. So one more time on that. Just the intro we are. Okay, so there we go. There's more things like that also, okay? Not just that intro, but there's the intro. Let's continue. Now it's easy for a little while. I would play a big E chord after that, right? However, rhythmically, right? Rhythmically, you want to keep this really simple. If you're playing with the piano player, even if you're not, right? You want to keep it simple. You don't overplay. Let the singer lead. There's a lot of dynamics in this too. So I'm just going to play like whole notes here. Playing with the piano player, right? 2, 3, 4. All right, my next chord is a B add 4 with an F sharp in the bass. Okay, now this is important. I see people, they're playing the E here. They're playing the D sharp here, and then they're playing the open E. We don't want this sound, okay, on that chord. We want a capo, we know how to capo, and we want to put the 4 here, because it's a suspended fourth sound, right? So we don't have to put it in the high register. It would be fine to put in the high register, providing you're not clashing with the D sharp. We don't want to hear that on the chord, all right? I'm going to play it like this. Big chord, all right? I got my F sharp in the bass. I got my B, I'm capoing, all right? And then I got my E. That's the sound I want. Then, yeah, we want to add the 4 with that. It's an add 4, so it has, it does have the D sharp in it. Okay? It doesn't say B sus 4. All right? There you go. And I can put my D sharp on top because we don't want this, again, that sound. All right? And I have my other B here. So I am doubling the B. Well, I think that sounds nice, and you could play through that whole thing and play, and we could grab the F sharp here. So if we take a look at the notes, we're playing with the capo. We're playing this with the capo, that with the capo, that with the capo, and that with the capo. All right? All on that second position, and I'm holding these two strings down. Now listen to this chord. It's nice. Nice big sound. Okay? Now you have sharp in the bass. A few bars later, it's just how you could do this. It has a B add 4. And that sounds fine. So let's take it from the beginning and get that first kind of verse down where the verse starts. You know those chords, they will come up again. But I'm going to play it from the beginning. I won't play with the looper right now. Ready? 1, 2, 3, slow. Big E chord. 2 and 3, 4. B add 4 again, without the F sharp in the bass, right? All right, and then he keeps going. All right, so let's keep going. Now, and you say that's the intro. He keeps going. He goes back to an E chord. To my here again, right? B add 4 with the F sharp in the bass. C sharp minor. B add 4 again, right? Now, let's stop there a moment. Right? So we just played after that little bass line in the beginning, we played the same thing. E, B add 4 with the F sharp in the bass, C sharp minor 7. B add 4 again. Now he's going to go to an F minor 11 chord. And then go to an E with the G sharp in the bass, like the intro, and then go back to that A add 2. Now let's take a look at an F sharp minor chord, an F sharp minor 11 chord, right? I don't want to jump all the way up here or play something crazy here with a bit. I'm going to do this, another open voicing chord. Why? Because here's my F sharp minor. The piano voicings here. Open voicing. I got all the strong tones. I have my F sharp, I have my E, I have my A, and I have my B. There's my 11. Okay? And 11 is a fourth voiced above the seventh. Okay? So here's my E. So I call this an 11. You know, if you keep going, you get to the like a 7th chord. All right, then what comes after that? A 9, an 11, a 13. All right? So if we're talking about chords, I mean, yes, there's sus4 chords, there's all 6 chords, there's all kinds of things. When I'm showing you, let's say, root, all right, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, 11, right? 11 is kind of what we call an extension, or a 9, anything above the 7th. 7th's within an octave. Well, this is a nice line here because now you can play this chord. Mind you, you can mute this A, okay? Or you can put it in on this chord because it's in the chord, the low A. I don't. I finger style it, but you can. Or you can mute it. But basically, here's your fingering. 2, 3, 4. And the reason why I'm doing it this way, because I want to go back to that E with the G sharp in the bass, which is only the 4th beat. So I can quickly go here and then go to my A. Alright, well, let's check that out. 2, 3. Okay, let's do it in slow motion. See that? So we did this chord before in the introduction. Alright? Now since you got past that, I'm going to play the song all the way, without the looper, all the way up. We'll go all the way into the first ending. Alright, and then I'll stop at the first ending. Because you know most of the chords. Oh, no, actually you don't, sorry. We need to do a B sus7. Alright, I'm going to take it from the F sharp minor 11. Sorry folks, you got this. Here. A add 2. Now on the fourth beat of this, we want to go to a B7 sus4. How am I going to do that? Well, I said my closest way to play a B7 is here. But I want to suspend it fourth, so I do this. On beat 4, okay? I'm here. I think this is the easiest way to play this here. And he goes right to an E chord after that. So let's take it from that F sharp minor 11. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3 is my B7. Alright. One more time from that F sharp minor 11. 2, 3. B7 sus. See it? Capo here. Got my capo. F sharp. Got my A capoed. And my suspension is here. Right to an A. And then he goes to a big B. Okay? So that's your B sus4. That's going to come up again. All right? But just with this intro and this first verse, there's a lot going on in this song. Okay? There's a lot of slash chords. So we're going to be here a while if you want to learn it correctly. I'm not going to run through the lesson. I feel that I want to be thorough here and make sure you get it down. This way you're not rewinded. What it might do, what it might do. Watch the video, all right? I don't care if it's 50 minutes. You're going to come up with a lot of valuable information. I'm not rushing through anything here. All right? We can't rush with guitar. All right. Why don't I take it without the looper, really slow, from the very beginning? All right? 3, 4. Verse, big E. B chord. Alright, kind of goes to that pre-chorus here. Big F sharp chord, let's start with that. Alright? So we're up to that. F sharp minor. Big capo here. Remember when you capo, folks, we want to have a nice, straight, flat capo, close to the fret. None of this, okay? I tell people go number 1. Do number 1. Lay out number 1. Put it there. All right, and get that flat, get it straight, and there you go. Oh, wrong chord though. Sorry. Now I'm not holding this way back, all right, but I don't want you to. You want these fingers here. Okay, let's keep this close. This isn't playing anything. See it? I got this, 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 and these are with the capo. So here, big F sharp chord. 2, 3, 4. Then to the A. E. B sus again. Now to a B. A big F sharp, right? So, again, all right, on the F sharp. So remember, we covered a lot of different chords in here. Okay? You listen to the song and go, oh wow, that's slow, that's easy, it sounds easy. I wouldn't say it's an easy song. Okay, it's not your standard 3-chord song. There's a lot of things going on in here. If you want to play it correctly, it's going to take some work, depending on where you are. Right? This is definitely an intermediate level type song, but you know, if you're a beginner, a novice, let's say, not a pure beginner. However, you want to, you know, it's going to be pretty challenging. All right. Yeah, a lot of, different type of jazz voicings or piano type voicings. All right, so let's do a quick review. I'm not done yet. We talked about slash chords, inversions with bass lines, okay? He's doing a lot of bass line things here. He's going to do more of that later to get, lead into the next chord. We've got voice leading with the open voicing chords, okay, an open voice. We have this here, and the sound is more open because we don't have notes, okay, on the next adjacent string. So this is a good way to play. It's very open sound. It's not muddy at all right? And we talk about sus2 and sus4 chords. And, playing with big chords, right? And again, the other thing we're talking about, economical fingering. So there's all these different concepts. They're all coming almost all at once. Dynamics, we'll talk about that a little later, okay, in the form. But economical fingering, so I can't just say, now let's move on to economical fingerings. But I am using economical fingering. So I just, in that verse there, I just went through like 5 different things, okay, that will help you play this. Just concepts you need to think about. All right, I'm going to play with the looper all the way to the first verse, through the first verse, and go back to the second. All right? And then we're going to talk about the first ending. What's in the first ending? What's the best way to play that? All right, so here I go. Ready? Minor 11. Pre-chorus. B. B sus. B. E sharp sharp again. B sus. Watch this. Alright, it goes back to that. Let's shut it down a minute. Let's take a look at what goes on in that first ending. Okay? So the first ending is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bars. We're going to start from the B suspended here. Okay, here we go. So my sus chord, think of a B7 chord. Okay, all right, here we go. We're going to do a suspension. That's going to resolve back to my B chord. Just, right? Capo here. Right? The pinball wizard thing, right? Well, we're not doing pinball wizard. That's sound, though. Suspensions, quite often, in classical music especially, they resolve back to the major chord. And my sus4, my third, or a regular dominant chord, okay? My B7 sus4, because it's a B7 chord, right? With a suspended fourth. The fourth goes down a half step. That's more voice leading for you. Okay, oh, this E, which is the fourth of the chord, right? B. So let's say we got a B, C, D, E, not any sharps. My fourth degree is going to my third, a half step back. Okay? That's how that's working. And it's kind of interesting, it goes to an A chord. You're almost expecting to hear an E chord. But let's take a look at that. B sus7, B sus4, 7 sus4. He's got this. B. Now we're going to go to an A chord, just to keep a capo. Now watch what I do here. Because I'm going to go to a G sharp with a B in the bass. And we're going to keep it simple. I'm going to put my B here. Here's my D sharp. And there's my G sharp. G sharp minor, okay? Give me this sound here, right? So I got that sound, right? Here's your major chord. We want this sound. But we want it with the B in the bass. So I'm coming from the A chord and voice leading. This goes to here, that's there, and that's there. You can leave this open, okay? All right. If you got good flex in here, you could, flex this here and keep the open. You don't have to play the open B. I like doing it like this. Here. Because it's easier for me to get to here. Back to my C sharp minor. Minor 7 in this case. So let's take a look at that first ending again. B sus4. 7 sus4. Here. A. Here. Rest. Start off that. So he goes back to that intro thing, which we already know. So my first ending does this, right? You could do that, or you could do the 7. I believe it is the 7. Here. Rest. And that's your biblical, that's the chorus. This song is very dynamic. We'll talk a little bit more about dynamics, and as you play, you want to go from soft, I would say piano, which is soft, all the way up to fortes on this, all right? Meaning loud. So you have piano, mezzo piano, which is moderately soft, but not as soft as piano. And then mezzo forte, which is moderately loud, but not as loud as forte. And then, of course, forte is loud. So you want to really control the dynamics. If you're singing this with a singer, if you're singing it yourself, you got to play it how you feel. Try to work on those dynamics. All right, so we went all the way through the first ending. I'm going to go right to the second ending now, okay? And go through some of those chords. There's really a lot of the same chords, but then we get into some more line stuff here. All right, so we're going into the second ending. He goes back to the verse, all the way back to the beginning, and then he goes to the second ending, which starts like the first ending. But we have B sus. All right, this is just a regular sus here, I guess. To the B. Now again, F sharp minor. And I give you. Right, to my A chord. To my E chord. Back to the B sus, 2, split bars there. Now what does he do? Well, he has an A with a C sharp in the bass. We're going to go to a G sharp minor with a D sharp in the bass. Slide up, 3, 4, there I have it. All right, then I'm just going to go keep C sharp minor and put an E in the bass. Okay? Hit. Make sense? So you'll find this chord in the second ending. Right? Let's try that again. Here's my C sharp, A with a C sharp in the bass. I could play an E in there. Nice big E chord. But he's got this. Here's your A chord, right? Here's my C sharp. Simply move this up. There's my D sharp. Right? I'm going to play this, this, and this. Play all the way to the second string if you wish. So I have this. Alright, 3, 4. Then I can go to my C sharp back to this. Alright, and I put an E in the bass. Alright. Now again, we're gonna have this type progression here. Sorry. Alright, we're gonna have the C sharp minor again. We do this. So you listen for that. And then verse 3. On A. E. B with a D sharp though, just do this. Then he goes to the B sus. Gets dramatic here, right? Back to this. F sharp minor, I get my E with the G sharp in the bass. Alright, now there's a part in there where he goes A6, A major 7th, meaning A major 6, A major 7 to E. Because you should get the score here. I'm going to play it from the second ending too. Alright? Yeah, I'll play it from the second ending, and then I'll stop there. I'll do that a few times and go to the verse. Alright? Let's take a look. Let's start that now, okay? So here's your second ending. B sus, 2, 3, 4, big F sharp minor. 2, 3, 4 to the A. E. B sus, B, A. And we got this. Then he's going to start his third verse. Let's take it from the start of the second ending again. So we break it up. Okay? 3, 4. Sharp. 3, 4, A. 3, 4, E. 3, 4 comes your B. Sorry, B sus. So I have this. Then again. Or an A chord. Or this one. Okay, got that? Alright, now let's go to that third verse. Big F sharp chord. 2, 3, 4 to the A. E. Alright, he gets a little dramatic here, going to the forte. Sus. F sharp. Watch this. Okay, watch this. I want to stop there. We're going to play an A chord. Okay, that's like on that third verse where he goes forte and again. This. Now he goes A, hold that for 2 beats. I'm going to play an A6 chord like this. Except I'm going to do with my 4th finger. And you'll see why. So I got A, 1, 2, A6. Because I want to go to an A major 7 chord. If you could reach, this is a great voicing for this, right? Here's my G sharp, my A. So I'm going to go like this. Okay? That's a nice voicing. Now if we just isolate this, I was talking about this before, okay? But it doesn't sound so bad in this case because we have the big, it's more in a mid register, and we have the rest of the notes in there. Okay? Kind of like what we call a cluster, something. To an E. So let's take a look at this again. 2, 3, 2, 4. Continue. B sus. 2, 4, 2, 3, 4. My B sus again. Again, this A. Okay, we're going to play this thing again to the C sharp, right? And like I said, I'm going to play the whole thing here. I'm going to do the ending again. All right. I'll do the third verse again, then I'll do the ending. You know, if you play the wedding song and you got a guitar player and you're the guitar player, you want to learn this tune. It's a good way to play it. Right? Or just, you know, You're not doing a wedding. Whatever. It reminds me of one of those things that you would play at a church or something. Okay? And when someone was getting married at a wedding ceremony. Or it was the first dance. Whatever. Okay? It doesn't have to be at a wedding. All right, I'm going to take the third, from the third verse where he goes into the forte. All right, and then we're going to do that A6, A major 7th thing. And I'll continue from there. Okay? So here's your F sharp. 2, 3, 2, 4. B sus. 4. Sharp again. 2, 3. Nice big A chord. Big E. 4. B sus. Alright, let's take a look at that ending again. 4. This. And that last part we did, which we did before, comes up at in the first ending, and it's at the very end. So that's that intro thing. Right? Well, this isn't. Sorry. This. But this is the introduction. After that, it does. Alright, so it's a good song. It's a lot of dynamics in here. You know, I can go through all the dynamics here, play soft, here, do that. But the best thing is to listen to it and you feel out the dynamics yourself. Alright, you got to do some work. I can't teach you everything. I can. No, but you follow what I'm saying, right? Work on those dynamics. Now, I'm going to play the whole song from the beginning. Remember, soft. I'm playing with the piano player. If you're strumming along and it's just a singer, yeah, you can be a little busier on the... I wouldn't go too crazy. Nice, easy strum. Okay? Very simple. Simple, nothing crazy where you're playing a lot of different fast, quick rhythms, short value rhythms rather, alright? Alright, here we go, from the beginning. I'll keep zoomed in. A little louder here. Top, E, D, da, da, da. Fall between the thunder clouds. I will put you back together. I won't let you down. Just let me wonder what I'd do if you never found me and I never found you. I don't know what I'd do. So won't you give? Okay, second ending, sharp. Third verse. Calm it down. I know. All right, pick it up, volume. Volume more. And there you have it. Okay? So let's zoom out. Sorry before, I noticed I was shaking around a little bit playing that, but you know, I was into it. Keeping my time there with my body. And there you have it, Biblical, great song. Well, we did about a 50-minute lesson on this, which is, I thought I was pretty thorough. And I hope you think I was pretty thorough. Okay, so your homework. Well, first of all, it is to join me next time for another live stream. Hopefully, it's Friday evening. We try to do them on Friday evenings so everyone can watch. And remember to sign up for my Play Like a Pro video courses. If you're a pure beginner, got a great pure beginning guitar course. I got a beginning blues course. I have a midway blues guitar course. And they come with backing tracks and everything. So just like this, I'm playing along with backing tracks. I actually have a ukulele course too. And I'm trying to put more up. These live streams though are working out nice, and I hope everyone enjoys them. And send us feedback to stringsoundstudios.com or right here in that chat box. All right? Like to hear from you. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you would like me to do, and that's fine. And please follow us on all social media. Okay? And I guess that's about it. So you have a good day. Remember I said, any questions? Give us a ring, give us an email, whatever you need to do. And remember to always do this, folks. I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning into Biblical.